campus, your community, your concerns. Reporting the news students care about, you're watching Winthrop Close Up.
Hello, Winthrop. I'm Charity Jackson.
And I'm LaVarce Clark. Thanks for joining us.
Last week, we brought you the story about the controversial column in the Johnsonian and the resulting forum. We got the story on the follow-up forum where student publication representatives met with students face-to-face. Yolanda Harrington has more.
Students overflowed Dinkins Auditorium in part 2 of the discussion, Finding the Resolution. An article written by former Winthrop student Christine Byington sparked this forum and student discussions on campus. Student and faculty publication representatives were there. Students wrote questions addressed to the panel, which included Guy Rill, professor and advisor to the Winthrop Johnsonian; Rebecca Woodson, editor-in-chief of the Winthrop Johnsonian; Larry Timms, professor and advisor to the Winthrop Johnsonian; and Joseph Williams, editor of the Roddy Macmillan Record. The second part of this discussion focused on finding a solution to the beliefs that Byington wrote about in her article. Students suggested different programs and events that would help their peers become more informed about different cultures. An organization called Action, actively cooperating to impact overall nationalities, has been formed by 2 Winthrop students that will help students become more culturally diverse.
Action is basically just a group for people to get together and talk about serious issues that are affecting our society today. It's not based on any one racial group or one ethnic group or anything like that. It's for everyone on campus.
Students found the insight of the publication representatives to be informative and these suggested solutions to be beneficial to Winthrop.
In regards to the possible resolutions that were brought up at the forum, I think that all of them were extremely good ideas. I just felt that it was important for me to show my support, to see what was going on, and to see what I can contribute.
Action and the other solutions presented during this forum are open to all Winthrop students, faculty, and staff. Action programs are scheduled to begin after Thanksgiving break. If any student is interested in participating in Action, they can email Stacey Siders at siderss1@winthrop.edu. Tonight, Winthrop students have devised programs and organizations to create solutions to the race issues on campus. Reporting with the Winthrop Close Up, I'm Yolanda Harrington.
One art project on campus has students talking and possibly reading. James Beach tells us more.
Winthrop began taking suggestions for words to be sandblasted onto the Kinard wall earlier this semester. When students came back from fall break, they found the project was complete, and 5 words found to best represent Winthrop had been placed on the wall.
I think that they should have had something to do with academics instead of just community and service, and all that, since they're right between the 2 main academic buildings on campus.
I don't know, maybe in 300 years if this wall is still here and those words are still there, it'll be cool, but right now I think it just kind of cheapens them, kind of slapped on there like that.
Not all students have taken the time to consider the words.
I've never thought about it, I've never read it, but you know, I like having the wall here. It's a nice place to hang out with people.
Words that did not appear on the Kinard wall may be represented in other forms of student artwork appearing this spring on campus. With photographer Ryan Singletary, I'm James Beach.
What 2 words make students cringe? Michelle Nolan has the answer.
It's that time again. As the semester winds down, it's time for students to face that dreaded demon known as final exams. Students often begin to feel the pressure of their courses around this time, as professors start to load them down with projects, papers, and pre-finals tests.
Unlike high school, you stop weeks ahead and refresh everything. This you have to ask what you need to know, and that's what you get.
While it may seem like professors get the better end of the deal as students stress themselves out over exams, professors actually feel the pressure just as much, if not more, than their students.
We have to grade the work that you produce, and many times that really is exciting for us, and we enjoy that. We've chosen this work, but there's a lot of it.
Many students combat the pressure of finals with different stress-relieving activities and techniques.
I just take a lot of breaks. Sometimes I take naps, just to relax, just 20-minute naps, just to feel a lot better about it.
Students can reduce the tension of finals by following some of these helpful tips. Study in moderation, get plenty of rest, and study in an area where you can focus on your work with no distractions.
When it comes to finals, students should remember those tips, and above all, realize that they can only do their best. With photographer Josh Slayton, I'm Michelle Nolan reporting.
Have you completed your graduation checklist? Lynetta Coleman tells us how seniors can get things in order for graduation.
Whether you're graduating in December or May, there are several tasks you need to complete before your big day. Applying for graduation is the first step towards walking across the stage. The forms are located in Tillman outside the Records and Registration Office. These papers notify the university as to which students are anticipating graduating. There is also a senior survey that the university asks you to complete.
Just ask them questions about their career at Winthrop, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, what they liked about the general education, etc.
Finally, tying up all financial commitments and ordering your graduation accessories is the last step towards preparing for graduation. So how are Winthrop students coming along with their plans?
I've applied for graduation and I've been accepted for May graduation. I have not done the survey, but I have got the cap and gown and that kind of thing.
So don't not having your checklist completed stop you from graduating. If you need more information on graduation, check the Records and Registration Office. With photographer Terry Jackson, I'm Lynetta Coleman reporting.
Stay with us. When we return,
Megan Goins tells us about some inexpensive alternatives to Winthrop's cuisine.
And we'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at Winthrop Close Up. Keep it here.
Just take my hand, hold it tight.
I'd like others to know that mainly the importance of animal rescue and how it will greatly affect the community as a whole toward how to treat our animals and how to take care of them better. Give them a loving place to go.
My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken.
You always develop your favorite animal. So being one-on-one with the animals is always my favorite part.
Yes, you'll be in my heart from this day on, now and forever.
There have been great strides made in the detection and treatment of breast cancer, but there is still much more to be learned. On special assignment for Winthrop Close Up, Lorna Webster and Molly Frittle filed this report.
At the 5th Annual Breast Cancer Awareness Forum, hosted by Zeta Tau Alpha, women came together to learn about the dangers of breast cancer and how to stay healthy. Leading the interactive forum, Dr. Shelley Hamill, Assistant Professor of Health and Physical Education, encouraged the girls to ask questions and be proactive in their health. Using PowerPoints and models, she dispelled the myths about breast cancer and demonstrated how to properly check for lumps.
If you had found 4, that was good, because the 5th one you wouldn't have been able to find.
Apparently, we all had something to learn.
I thought it was shocking when there were 5 lumps, because I only found 2.
Sarah Pittman, a survivor and member of Zeta Tau Alpha, wrapped up the forum with the personal testimony and plea for breast cancer research support.
Since my diagnosis of being in remission, I have made it a lifelong goal to be an advocate and to speak about cancer and cancer awareness.
These speakers showed that the possibility of breast cancer affecting young women today is real, and the only way to be prepared is to be educated.
With this event, Zeta Tau Alpha and the Winthrop community wrap up Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Though focus on breast cancer is intense in October, the disease plagues many all year long. So stay proactive, stay healthy, and keep supporting the search for the cure. With photographer Molly Frittle, I am Lorna Webster reporting.
The semester is winding down and the holidays are coming. If you're pinching pennies, Megan Goins has the list of vendors who can help.
A student's life can be hectic, and considering rising tuition costs and gas prices, it's nice to know that there are businesses who care. Aside from academics, students' other concerns include car maintenance, eating, and entertainment. The owner of Palmetto Tire and Service understands that students' cars need maintenance, yet at regular price, students may not be able to afford it.
In other words, they say 10% on tires, they say 10% on any service, oil
changes in maintenance required on the vehicle alignments, anything to do with their automobile, they save 10%.
While waiting to get your car service, students can walk over to Jersey Mike's and get a discount off their meal as well.
Yeah, since we've done the Winthrop discount, there's been a lot of Winthrop students that come in. We do special things on Wednesdays where Winthrop students get free drinks and free combos. So Winthrop comes in on Wednesdays to get that.
To unwind after finals, exams, or maybe after having a long day, students receive a special rate at Manchester Cinemas. So when you're short on cash, don't be afraid to ask businesses if they do give students discounts. And remember to pick up a copy of the Johnsonian to save on your next purchase. With photographer Tony Moore, I am Megan Goings reporting.
As students, we are free to take advantage of all that college has to offer. Interesting classes, good friends, parties, all-nighters, and food. Lots and lots of food. So how does one keep from gaining the freshman 15 and then some? Guest reporters Megan Carr and Megan Tuberville have these suggestions.
With a busy lifestyle and shortage of cash, Winthrop students have a hard time maintaining a healthy lifestyle. On-campus dining services try to offer healthy food choices, but the temptation of pizza and french fries is often a quick choice for a meal.
It takes time to eat healthy. To eat healthy, you got to take time to cook the proper food, and it's much easier to go around the window at McDonald's or even here to grab pizza off the shelf instead of eating something healthy. That's where all your freshman 15 comes from. Students don't have time to eat healthy, so they get fat.
Fortunately, the physical education department gives students an opportunity to fit exercise into their schedule by offering classes that demand physical activity. Yoga and dance aerobics are among the many classes available to students for credit hours.
Well, it gives them an opportunity to work out and get actually a grade for it, so it's kind of fun for them to be able to experience new types of workouts and, still incorporate it into a grade and a credit hour for them.
Peabody also offers facilities such as an indoor pool and a weight room, which allows students to work out for free during their spare time. With the completion of the Lois Rain West Fitness Center, students will have access to better equipment, which will allow them to be more enthusiastic about working out.
It'll be cleaner, not as humid. I think that all the new equipment that's going to be in there, I think that the students are going to be like, wow, and they're going to be excited about working out.
So when considering spring classes, keep in mind the aerobic activities available. Not only will you receive credit, but you'll get in shape too. Reporting from Winthrop Close Up with photographer Megan Carr, I'm Megan Tuberville.
Students often have to park in remote areas on campus. This can lead to security issues. Tony Moore tells us how we can protect our property.
For college students, having a car is considered to be a luxury. It enables you to get to work, Walmart, or even home for the weekend. But for some students, their cars have been greeted by unwelcome visitors. Car break-ins are no stranger to the Winthrop community. Thieves have taken everything from CD collections to the vehicle itself. Junior Terrell Martin shares his story.
And they left and I examined my car. They cut my wires, they took my speakers, they took my CD player, they took everything, you know what I'm saying? That really shocked me because I didn't think it happened.
Winthrop Police offer students the following tips to ensure the safety of their vehicle and personal items. Secure your vehicle by locking all doors. Remove any valuable items from plain view. And for females, place your purses in the trunk.
Following these tips can ensure the safety of your valuables. If not, you're likely to come back to a big surprise. With photographer Jack Stevenson, I'm Tony Moore reporting.
Last week, children were in abundance at the Campus Storybook Festival. Matt Yarborough was there and brings us this tale.
Children were treated to a delightful time at Winthrop as the Department of Education presented the Storybook Festival. The event featured education majors reading stories to children while assisting them with activities based on books.
We want them to do it at home and understand that there's fun things that go along with books.
Parents who attended learned ways to make reading enjoyable for their children.
It's important to encourage them to read at home and to get their parents involved, because families are really important to a child's education as well.
Children had fun, parents got a break, and education majors got a chance to work with kids in a relaxed environment. The current goal of the Storybook Festival is to make it an annual event. This event inspired children to read while teaching them that reading is fun. For Winthrop Close Up, I'm Matthew Yarber with photographer Chris Calhoun.
The Council of Student Leaders has been a prominent presence on campus lately. Emery Glover tells us more about the voice of the university.
The Council of Student Leaders is Winthrop's very own student government. However, it is unlike the formerly known SGA. CSL's chair and vice chair are appointed, and it consists of 16 permanent and 16 annual members. The council offers 8 committees that give non-voting students a chance to be active on the council.
CSL is a chance for people to have their voices heard here at Winthrop. A lot of people believe that change cannot happen, but if you come to a meeting and you bring us a well thought out decision or a question or a situation, change can definitely happen.
Since the existence of CSL, it has had a huge impact on the campus, but Chair Willie Laus thinks that more could be done to serve the campus.
If we were to have a campus-wide voting system, that our impact would be felt a lot more. I think that a campus-wide voting system could be used as a marketing tool for the council. I also think that it could be used as an awareness tool as well for the council.
Although CSL is the voice of the student body, students can still be heard by becoming annual members or joining one of their many committees. With LaVaris Clark as photographer, I'm Emery Glover reporting.
Stay tuned. Coming up, Charles Tennis brings us the Eagle Sports Update.
And Rachel Carr has our last cultural event calendar of the semester. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. I'm Charles Tennis, and this is the Eagles Sports Update. The Lady Eagles took over the Coliseum recently to host a volleyball and basketball doubleheader. Emery Glover has the story.
The Lady Eagles volleyball team kicked off the first half of the twin bill. The Lady Eagles put their 25 home game winning streak on the line against the Gardner-Webb Lady Bulldogs. The Lady Eagles took control early thanks to Mary Hawk and Taryn Serbaugh, both with 11 kills. Serbaugh also led the defense with 3 blocks. Winthrop committed only 13 errors as they shut out the Lady Bulldogs by the score of 3-0. After the volleyball team made quick work of their opponent, the athletic department worked quickly to set the stage for the women's basketball showdown between the Lady Eagles and the Crusaders of Belmont Avenue. Coach Childers and his team looked to get the ball rolling in the right direction with a win, and the Lady Eagles seemed to be headed that way, as Lisa Coop and Eva Milevo led the team with 17 and 14 points, respectively. Ashley Fan contributed 3 of her 7 points with this bucket. Fan would make the free throw after the foul. Coach Childers realized the importance of this exhibition.
Oh no, You know, it was a game to get our feet wet and get these freshmen and these new players playing with our returning players and see if we can't improve ourselves.
The Lady Eagles came out of this matchup with a 72-58 victory.
Both Lady Eagle teams came into their respective contests looking to build momentum for their next games. By posting victories, they did just that. Reporting from the Coliseum with Britt Mitchell as photographer, I'm Emery Glover.
We continue our profile series with a look at another shining star on the court. Harley Huntington has more.
Winthrop has been good to senior basketball star Jalandra Crump. The 6'1" forward was recruited on a full ride from Raleigh, North Carolina after a very successful high school basketball career. 4 years ago, when several schools were making her recruiting offers, she had many sleepless nights. Crump says that picking a school is one of the toughest and biggest decisions she has ever had to make. However, she is glad she can look back now in hindsight and know that she made the right choice. As one of the leading rebounders for the Lady Eagles, and with many successes in the classroom, there's only one thing she would change about her college career.
The overall campus involvement, I really feel like I didn't have as much as opportunities as other students to really enjoy campus life because I was really busy with basketball.
After graduation, Crump hopes to put her education major to good use and work with children, possibly for the government. But don't worry, she plans to join a league or practice at the Y and do anything to keep her game up. From Winthrop Close Up, I'm Harley Huntington reporting.
The men's soccer team reached the Big South Championship game recently. However, the Eagles fell short of their goal as they were defeated by Coastal Carolina by the score of 1-0 in overtime. Despite their loss, Sean Warren, Dustin Bybee, and Saidi Azik were named to the all-tournament team. The Eagles finished their season with a record of 12-8-1. Being a full-time student is a tough task when you're dealing with an 18-hour course load, but imagine being an athlete as well. Rachel Clark has more.
Passion, drive, and discipline are just a few key factors in what it takes to be a student athlete. The life of these athletes is consistent with a roller coaster. Not only is it a long day, but you have to deal with teachers, coaches, teammates, and the public.
Success comes from the drive, I guess, like I said earlier, and determination. You have to be determined to be successful. You have to be determined to pass. I mean, it's just the motivation and how much you're willing to succeed.
Success is something all athletes want, but it is not always achieved. Bumps along the way include injury or failure to stay in good standings with the NCAA or the coaches. In order to participate in your chosen sport, the NCAA has established a set of standards for all athletes at all colleges and universities. Coaches, however, can, at their discretion, set the standard higher than the NCAA's.
I expect the same in the classroom as I do on the field. Compete at the highest level, be number one, not the second best, but be the best you can in the classroom.
The toughest part about being a student athlete is balancing a rigorous academic schedule with an even more rigorous athletic schedule.
A lot of students don't understand how much, well, as they would have like 8 hours of free time after class, we might have like 1.5 before it's about time to eat and go to sleep. Or we'll spend about 6 hours in the class, 7 hours in the classroom, and about 5 hours in the gym. So, I mean, your day is kind of like a full-time job.
No matter what, these scholars are dedicated to achieving the most, not only as athletes, but as students as well. With photographer Karen Little, I'm Rachel Clark reporting.
In golf news, Aaron White has been selected Big South Golfer of the Week for the second time this fall. White led the Lady Eagles to the Virginia Beach Invitational Championship. The Winthrop Ultimate Frisbee team closed out their fall season with a 2-day tournament at Duke University. Winthrop Close Up was there.
Winthrop's Ultimate Frisbee team went on the road to participate in the 12-team Bedevil tournament at Duke. Teams from as far away as Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. took part. The Eagles began the tournament with a victory over NC State. But with only a small 9-man roster, the Eagles stumbled through their next 3 matches, suffering losses to Georgia College and State, Elon University, and Catholic University.
It's hard to win a lot of games when you only have 8 or 9 people, but I think we did a pretty good job staying pretty consistent.
On the second day of the tournament, Winthrop finished their round-robin play against Lenore-Ryan College. The Eagles came out strong in the first half, but fell apart in the second, en route to a 13-7 loss. After pool play, the Eagles faced off against the University of Virginia in the first round of the playoffs. Winthrop's defense proved to be the deciding factor as both offenses struggled. After leading by 1 at halftime, the Eagles held on to win by the same margin, 8-7. In the final game of the tournament, the fatigue of the previous 6 games took its toll on the shorthanded Eagles squad as they were shot down by Davidson University, 13-6 in the B bracket championship. The Winthrop Ultimate Frisbee team took 10th place in the tournament and finished their fall season with a 5-12 record. They hope to improve their play in the upcoming spring season. With photographer Chase and Tennis, I'm Charles Tennis reporting.
The men's basketball team has received more national attention. ESPN's Fran Fraschilla has picked the Eagles as one of his 3 mid-major teams to watch. Other mid-major teams mentioned were Old Dominion, Bucknell, and Cal State Fullerton. That's all for the Eagles Sports Update. Let's go to Rachel Clark for your cultural and community events.
Thanks, Charles. Winthrop, you are now tuned in to your cultural and community events. Thanks for joining us. Johnson Hall was filled with music and innovative dancing. Close Up was there to catch the story.
The Winthrop Dance Theater has had a successful fall recital year after year. Each production features work choreographed by faculty and guest artists, but in the end, it is students who bring each piece to life. Dance major Amber Furlong says that the recital took time and preparation.
Usually rehearsals for the students are about an hour to an hour and a half, depending upon the choreographer and how many times they meet per week. And then tech week, we're usually here for about 3 to 4 hours a night.
A broad array of dance styles were brought to the stage, including an Aryan piece that called for some students to dance while hanging in the air. Students are pleased that Winthrop's dance department introduces more than one genre of dance for its productions.
When people think of dance, they always think of one type of dance style. When you come to Winthrop, you look at different other dance styles because I'm used to hip hop, but here you can see hip hop, modern, ballet, tap.
Dance majors and minors brought a broad range of skill and diversity to the recital. If you didn't catch this dance recital, you can catch the Senior Dance Showcase that's coming up in December. With Winthrop Close Up, I'm Latoya Mays reporting.
Last week, AOE's Vision of Zion hosted its 3rd annual Fun Fest in Peabody Gym. The festival allowed students the opportunity to win prizes by playing several different games. Some of the games included blind basketball, name that tune, and the treasure chest game. Some of the prizes included food, bath and body products, school supplies, and Bibles. Due to the forum concerning the controversial Johnsonian article, the turnout was not nearly as large as previous years. But despite the low numbers, students still had fun with musical chairs and dance performances by AOE's Dance in the Motion. The proceeds from the 50-cent admission sold at the door went into a raffle for a gas card. Recently, the Winthrop Chorale took their fall tour to Washington, D.C. Jack Stevenson traveled to the nation's capital, and he tells us what the chorale was singing about.
On Friday, November 4th, members of the Winthrop Chorale packed their suitcases and boarded buses for a trip to the nation's capital. The 2005 fall tour included performances in Washington, D.C. and in nearby cities. In addition to their evening performances, the chorale also sang at 9 Washington area high schools, hoping to recruit talent for the future. The highlight of the tour was performing in the Washington National Cathedral, where the chorale was the featured choir for the Sunday morning service. As a part of the prelude, they sang 8 sacred songs a cappella in front of a full house. Dr. Kathy Kenzis tells us how she felt about the chorale's performance.
Just had such a thrill conducting such a wonderful group, and everyone I think did their very, very best, and the acoustics in there are just fabulous.
Many students also felt well about this rare experience.
It was neat, performing in such a nice, architectural place. The sound sounded really wonderful in there. We sounded really good in there, and being in there with all the nice stained glass windows and things made you actually want to perform to your highest potential.
It was great to have the opportunity to perform here. I think it was a great experience for all of us, and I think the congregation enjoyed it also.
Although the tour was full of hard work, the students were allowed free time to experience the national sites and landmarks of the nation's capital.
From singing in high school chorus rooms to the National Cathedral here in Washington, D.C., the Winthrop Chorale has been able to share their music with people from all over the nation. Reporting from the National Cathedral here in Washington, this is Jack Stevenson for Winthrop Close Up.
At some point in time, everyone will receive a letter from the Office of Records and Registration outlining what they need to do in order to graduate. Besides completing the required courses, each student must attend 18 cultural events. Why, you ask? Guest reporter Jenna Drenton sheds some light on this subject.
Winthrop students are familiar with scanning their ID cards at special events. Cultural event monitors ensure that Winthrop students fulfill their cultural event requirements.
I think it makes Winthrop's like students better because it makes them more versed in worldly things besides, just academia.
The purpose of the cultural events requirement is to establish and foster a life-enriching pattern of cultural involvement.
Winthrop students are required 18 cultural event credits before graduation, or 3 cultural event credits for every 20 hours earned here at Winthrop.
Winthrop University strives to offer its students a setting in which they can mature culturally.
Many of the students that come to Winthrop are from small towns in South Carolina and maybe have only experienced, let's say, music in a certain genre or had never been able to experience some of the things that we're able to bring to campus. And when I say we, I don't mean just the Deacon Student Union, where we do try to provide, some music from various cultures and lectures about certain topics, but also when you think about the theater department, the music department, the political science department, and the various seminars and lectures that they present.
Each semester, a calendar of events is approved for cultural event credit. For Winthrop Close Up, this is Jenna Drenton reporting.
If you've missed out on past events, don't worry. There are plenty more cultural programs that you can attend. Check out this week's list of events. That's all for your cultural and community events. Stay tuned to Winthrop Close Up for your news and entertainment.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanksgiving is next week, and students are busy making plans. We sent our man on the street to find out what their plans are.
Next week during the break, Wednesday, I'm working 10 to 6. Thursday, I'm celebrating with my family. Friday, I'm working 10 to 7:30. Saturday, I'm working 10 to 5:30.
I'm going back home. All my buddies are coming back, so we'll just probably hang out, party some during the break, just pretty much just chill out, catch up on some schoolwork.
Gonna go home, reunite with my family, eat some turkey, and sleep a lot.
I'm gonna probably sleep in a lot, and I'm gonna eat like crazy, and probably do some reading for classes, hang out with friends, my boyfriend, stuff like that.
I'm going home back to Greenville, South Carolina, probably visit family, friends. Hopefully most of my family will probably come over to my house and we'll all eat. And the day after, we'll probably go shopping.
I'm going home to see my parents and also going to see my stepfather's parents in Blackville, South Carolina.
Every year we go to a different relative's house. So this year it's going to be at my house. So all of my relatives from New York, Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee, we all get together and they'll be at my house for Thanksgiving. Usually we sit around the table and we'll talk about what we're thankful for.
With the end of the semester approaching, we wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on here at Winthrop Close Up. Being a part of Winthrop's Close Up is not all fun and games. At the beginning of each week, 22 students get together with 2 professors and figure out what news stories to give you. After an hour or so of brainstorming, the students go their separate ways and dive into the fast-paced world of news. Armed with their cameras, the reporters and photographers set out to discover students' opinions on different issues. Later in the week, all the classes get together to tape the show for your viewing pleasure. It usually takes about an hour and a half to film a 30-minute segment, but the time it's put into it is well worth the final product. There's a lot of work involved in putting these stories and the show together. However, the students leave their class with a great experience and some new friends.
That's all for the Winthrop Close Up this semester. Join us in the spring for an all-new show just for Winthrop.
Have a safe and happy holiday season, and we'll see you in the spring.
I'm Charity Jackson.
And I'm LeVar Clark. Thanks for watching Winthrop.